friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm excited to bring you another Project Pan update. I have gotten through some products, brought in some new things. Let's go ahead and check in about this project. So the first things we have are things that I have finished up completely. That would be the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Primer Ultra Light Formula. Last time I saw you guys, I was up here and I have since worked through this. This is probably one of the best drugstore primers I have ever used. I definitely am missing it now that I've moved on to the replacement after pulling this out of my collection. I just think it's really awesome. I would totally buy it again if I wasn't inundated with face primers. I'm really hoping that much like my setting sprays, I can get down to no more than 1 to 2 face primers at any given time. I feel like it's gonna be a tall order to do though, because I feel like the thing that I get the most frequently in subscription boxes is foundation primers. So I feel like I constantly am working through smaller bottles before I can tackle one big bottle, but I am happy to use this and I would definitely recommend it. The next thing I have is my E.L.F. Luscious Liquid Lipstick in the shade Baby Lips. You can see that there's still a little bit of product left in there, but it doesn't click up anymore. So you can see this is where I started and I officially finished this off. I would have gone through this super fast had I not only kept it on my vanity and apply it in the morning. I personally loved the way this looked on my lips, and I definitely think it is an amazing lip product. Is it super long lasting? No. Can you go through these products really fast? Yes. But I feel like for like the dollar that you pay for them, it's awesome. I like them a lot. I've really been tempted to buy so many more of them whenever E.L.F. does like a free shipping day, no minimum purchase, but I keep telling myself not to because I've acquired a lot of lip products lately and I really need to get hustling on using some of those up before I can bring in any more. So I'm gonna resist the urge to buy more of them, but if you're in the market for this type of like glossy, juicy looking product, this is the one you want. The last thing I have that I've used up is the Milani Shadow Stick. When I last saw you guys, I was right here with how much I had left, but as you can see now, I am down to this point here, but there is literally no eyeshadow left to be taken out. As you can see right here, this is the line where there's no longer any product, and when I tried to sharpen this, it wouldn't sharpen anymore. And the remaining product in here, it's like hitting the black part when I put it on my eyes. So I'm officially done with this. This took me so much longer to use than I projected or expected. And I'm happy it's gone. It's a classic shade for me, but I just much prefer to use the pots, and I would like to work through that collection a bit more. The other items that I have in here that aren't new, but I have an update on. The first is my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Spotlight. This is in Champagne Gold. I feel like I finally have a place where I can actually make a mark to show you guys my progress. There is a lot of product on the sides, and I really still am not at a point where I need to take out the doe foot, because as you can see, there's still a lot of product coming on the doe foot when I pull it out on the stopper, but like you can literally see there's a ton of product at the very top here near the stopper to use up. And then when you look at it inside here, like on the sides, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you guys effectively. Like on the sides of the bottle here, you can see that it dips down because there's product building up on the side. So until I basically can't get the doe foot to touch where there's product down here, I'm not gonna be able to take the stopper out because it's gonna get too messy, and if it gets too messy, I won't wanna use it, and I really do wanna finish this up. I honestly feel like this might take me until the end of the year to use up completely, which will basically mean that I pretty much only use the same highlighter for an entire year. But I'm gonna be honest, I still like this a lot on my skin, so it hasn't really bothered me that it's taking me this long, except for the fact that I have so many other highlighters just kind of rotting away in my collection. But as again, I always like these products because it can be really educational, and seeing how long it takes to use this up means that I don't have a shot at really ever using up a full-size version of these Becca highlighters unless I started to like mix them into my foundation and stuff, which I'm not someone who wants that kind of glowiness in my foundation, but I'm happy with this. I'm gonna keep using it. I really am full-time Monday through Sunday using this highlighter whenever I put makeup on. The other item that I have an update on, I mean, kind of, sorta, is my NYX Wonder Pencil. You can see between these two blue lines, I have a tiny little bit of progress. This is just gonna, honestly, I don't know why I put things like this in these projects because they're not exciting to watch. I don't make a ton of progress on them, but it's one of those things where I feel like because I'm constantly using it, that's why I want to put it in this project. I don't know, I just like keeping track of it. I know it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. It's in this project. I'm gonna keep tracking it. All right, so then on to what I'm sort of like bringing in for the rest of this project pan to keep track of. I dug through my products I want to use up in 2017 bin, and there were two things in there that I pulled, or there were three things in there that I pulled out. The first is the Ulta Flawless Prime. This is for, like, if you have like redness, it's basically a green primer. I really liked this when I had like a deluxe size sample of it, and now that I'm using a full size, I don't know, maybe my like primer preferences have changed, but I'm not super in love with it, so I want to go ahead and get this used up ASAP. It just, like, it does help, but I don't have as much redness as I used to, I guess, and it has more of like a silicone texture, which you guys have found recently I'm not a big fan of, and like literally there are, I think, 2 other primers that I want to use up this year, including this one, so that would be 3, and they're all like silicone based. So I think it's like my real issue is that I'm kind of over that texture, but most of my collection for a while was that because I did like it. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. I have no real like place of start because when I squeeze the tube to try to like clear out the packaging, the product comes out. So it's basically brand new, and I'll keep you updated on where I go with it. The other thing I pulled was a mascara. It's the Benefit They're Real Deluxe Size Sample. In case you haven't seen this wand, this is what it looks like. This is a really spiky wand where if you're not careful and you hit your like eyeball or like actual physical eyelid, it can be really painful. But I'm kind of over this mascara. I liked it for a long time and like couldn't wait to get my hands on it. I was always trying to get like deluxe size samples of it, but I've since found a lot of good drugstore ones, so I want to go ahead and use this up so I can just plug away and check off more of the products I had intended to use this year. The next item I pulled was another lip product from my 2017 box, and that is the E.L.F. Hyper Shine Lip Gloss. This is in the shade Blossom. This is where I'm starting. It has a different applicator than the one that I recently used, the Luscious lipstick. This has like a brush applicator. It's honestly not as good as the other one that I was using, and I don't really like the texture or the color of it. So I'm hoping to use this up really quickly. Plus, this is a very low value. I don't think they sell these anymore, and I think I bought them when they were like 50 cents. But it's one of those things where if I've spent money on it, I do want to get use out of it. So I'm hoping to like work through this really fast and then pull out another lip product that I have for 2017 that I think will take me longer to use than this. The last things I have are just things that I pulled in my collection that I've kind of been really kind of already working on that I just want to officially like document progress with. The first is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster 2-in-1 Lash Boosting Eyeliner and Serum in Ultra Black. I think this might be close to being on its way out because whenever I line my eyes, I find myself feeling like I need to go back over it more times than when I first had it. But yet whenever I like do this, I'm always like, oh, well, there's still like a lot of life left in it. But like you can see here, it's not as dark and rich as I feel like it originally was. Maybe I'm crazy at remembering that wrong, but I feel like it's just not as opaque and dark as I originally had it. So I wanted to go ahead and finish this up and then pull out of my 2017 box an eyeliner that I actually wanted to finish. I did not intend to use this in my immediate future, but I just became hooked on it. Like, it's such a good eyeliner. I know Physicians Formula can be on the pricier side for drugstore, but honest to God, every single week, either CVS, Walgreens, or Rite Aid, or Target has some kind of Physicians Formula sale going on. Like one of those stores always, out of those 4, will have a sale on Physicians Formula, so you can never really, like, you can always avoid paying full price for those products. Like, I don't think I paid for a single Physicians Formula product at face value, but I do really like it and want to use it up so I can move on to something else. The other thing I have is the Loreal Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. I don't know, like I was really into this and really couldn't wait to get my hands on a full size of it, but now that I'm using it, I'm like not in love with it. I feel like the Shadow Insurance, like the glitter shadow primer, has won my heart. and I feel like it's just like glue for your eyes. The E.L.F. Like glitter primer is also really good. These just doesn't seem as good as the other ones. So this is my starting point. I've drawn my line here. I just want to use this up so I can kind of not feel as guilty about using my E.L.F. one. I'm using my newer eye primers compared to this, which is on like the older side. And it wants to turn on me because this thing was, I think, in the realm of $20, and I'd hate for that much money to go to waste. The last thing that I have, which I cannot believe I'm putting it into this project, is another freaking shadow stick. I know I keep saying that I want to use up my potted cream shadows, but every time I'm like so close to starting to work on one, I get a shadow stick either sent to me or I like see a shadow stick in my collection that I'm like, I just want to use this up really fast, and it never is that fast. But I feel like this one might go pretty quick. This is the Bobbi Brown Long Wear Cream Shadow Stick in the shade Golden Pink. So like right up my eyeshadow alley. I wouldn't describe this as a golden pink. It really to me is more of like a soft gold, really and truly. But I would like to use this up. It is not a ton of product in this, so I feel like it won't take that long. It's very creamy. I used it this morning and I feel like it will get used up quickly. And then I promise you, I'm moving on to the potted cream shadows. I'd like to at least get through 2 of those this year because I seem to be able to work through them pretty quickly once I'm using them full time. All right, guys, that felt like a lot of talking on my end, but this is my most recent update with the makeup products that I'm trying to work through in this project pan. As always, if you are doing any kind of panning, let me know in the comments below, because I feel like a lot of people outside of me will pick like powder-based products, and as you guys can see, I don't pick a lot of those intentionally because I don't feel like I can effectively work through them, but I'm always amazed when people are able to hit pan on those like shadow or like powder-based products. But that is it for me. I will talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.